Good evening. Schaumburg High School's distinguished graduate for the 2015-2016 year is Eric von Schaumburg from the class of 2001. The committee selected Mr. von Schaumburg for his outstanding courage to rise strong and his ability to lean into the headwinds after receiving in 2013 his diagnosis of ALS, I knew I'd mess this up, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. Eric has spent the last 2 years being a national activist for ALS. I'd like to share with you his list of accomplishments that are going to be in that area of his passion for his activism as well as his professional career. In 2015, Eric received the Inspiration Award from Les Turner ALS Foundation. In 2014, he became a Muscular Dystrophy Association representative and was featured during the MDA National Telethon, as well as a national spokesperson for ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. 2013 ushered in his position as representative for Les Turner ALS Foundation. That is a world-renowned organization for ALS research, patient care, and ALS education. Eric also became a member of Les Turner's Young Professional Group for support and fundraising. Now professionally, he was promoted to a vice president position at Misero Financial, as well as earning his certified structured settlement consultant designation, quite fancy, at the University of Notre Dame. 2010, Mr. von Schaumburg was awarded MFS Rising Star Award at the annual consultants meeting for Misero Financial, and 2017 to present, he became a settlement coordinator, a settlement specialist, and account executive for the same financial institution in Chicago. He also earned a bachelor's degree in 2015 in finance at the University of Illinois. At this time, I would like to invite you to watch and hear Eric's own words.
Things that we learned playing football were things that led us to become men. The same qualities, never giving up, fighting as hard as you can. When your body's fatigued, knowing that your mind has a second level, and knowing that there's going to be challenges and adversity on and off the field.
You know, I think of the 4 years that he spent here and that I spent here, and that competitive nature that was instilled in us at Schaumburg, he's really using that right now, and he's using that to fight ALS. And you know, all the doctors tell us one of the biggest reasons where some people will be able to last out the disease and allow for a slower progression is just your state of mind and the way that you fight. And I think that you know, Coach Stilling and Coach Sloan and the football team, they're kind of feeding back and forth off here.
I was depressed for about 3 to 4 weeks, and then I made a decision that the rest of my life was going to be spent trying to inspire people to be better people. Well before this diagnosis happened, I would always say, you know, if you have something nice to say about someone, why do you hold it in? Tell them that. Too many times we only open our mouths to criticize people, and if every good thought you had about someone else, you verbalized to them, I think the world would be a much better place. And so I hope that through fighting this disease and doing it with honor and laughter and having fun with it, I can inspire others to not sweat the small stuff, which is very hard to do, but go hug your kids every night, tell them you love them. And so I hope people can learn through me that, humanity is really a great thing, and, I hope people just become better people watching the fight that I'm going through.
Eric, please. That equation brings up more for you.
Brother Josh, who is going to give us a few more words about his wonderful brother.
So this was actually a really big week for us. Eric just got his brand new shiny wheelchair. It looks amazing. He's getting comfortable right now. Eric likes to call it his Ferrari, mainly because it costs about $65K plus tax. Thank you, Blue Cross Blue Shield, for that. But the best thing about Eric's wheelchair is he is actually taller now than he was before. So I'm Eric's brother, Josh, and Eric actually prepared a speech tonight, but cannot read it due to his ALS, so I'll be reading it on his behalf. It was 4:57 on Wednesday, June 19th, 2013. I was in the neurologist's office with my now wife and mom. We were still trying to figure out why I was slurring some words, almost like a child's lisp. Surely there would be some speech therapy. I cringed at the idea of transforming into a third grader, working on my S's in a small box room with a speech therapist. The day was long and I was anxious. Not anxious from my newly pronounced lisp, but because the Blackhawks needed to win against Boston to tie the Stanley Cup in 2 games apiece. The doctor came in to review my brain MRI. It looked good, clean of anything that would cause any speaking issues. Why should I be worried? I was 29 years old and had 2 sick days in 8 years of work. I had the perfect life, awesome family and friends, success on the sports fields and in the classrooms at SHS and U of I. I had my dream sales job downtown in financial advising, working my tail off to move up the corporate ladder. I had a sweet condo on Michigan Avenue. I was in the best physical shape of my life. And the one thing that had eluded me, my dream girl, I had found 16 months prior in a beautiful angel named Lindsay. Life was perfect. Heck, I even had a town named after me. And then came the doctor's words, tingling down my spine. I think you have ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. I knew very little, but could tell by his tone that this was something awful. But wasn't that for older people? And wasn't that cured like 50 years ago? No was the answer. I found out I had a life expectancy of 2 to 5 years. All my muscles would stop, leading to paralysis, but my mind would remain completely intact, trapped and helpless, as I eventually died of respiratory failure. The odds were better for me to win the Powerball jackpot than be diagnosed with sporadic ALS before the age of 30. At this point, you may think I had a decision to make regarding how I wish to spend the rest of my life. Was I going to be angry and dejected, wishing to speed up death? Was I going to change my loving, outgoing personality? Or was I going to become inspirational, using this diagnosis as a catalyst to challenge others? Truth is, this decision was already made for me. Rather, made by me, back when I was your age. It was pulling an all-nighter to make sure my AP Calculus exam went perfectly. It was diving in the parking lot baseball practices, sacrificing a bloody elbow, because I was so darn competitive. That was freaking practice, by the way. It was in the weight room in August two-a-day football practices when my body could take no more, but my mind kept on going. It was always having an ear-to-ear smile, holding the door for strangers, and befriending kids who didn't seem to have very many friends. It was choosing to have fun, be a smartass, and love life. So when faced with the fight of my life, I didn't know any other way to tackle it. Oh, and by the way, I have this thing called the ALS card. When you're dying of ALS, you can get away with pretty much anything. This includes cursing in public speeches to high schoolers. To be completely honest with you, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to accept this award. My left arm is basically done moving, and my hands are so curled up now that I'm down to typing with just one finger. So writing out this speech was quite the time-consuming task. I spent most of my days just communicating my basic needs to my family and nursing staff, trying to write my blogs and viewing 94.7% of Netflix's catalog. More than anything though, I hate being dependent on others, and I hate being considered some charity case. I hate feeling even a hint of being patronized. I couldn't help but realize the fact that I would never be receiving this award if it weren't for this terrible disease. Why should I receive an award for navigating ALS the only way I knew how? But then, I talked it over with my family and I went into deep thought, like I always do when I write. I realized that even though I would not be receiving this award if it were not for this horrible disease, ALS is not what this award is about, and it's certainly not what I'm about. This isn't some charity award. This award is for the people I've inspired in choosing to live life with the same zest as always, even while my body deteriorates. It's for the newly diagnosed patients I've connected with and helped make life a little bit easier and a little less scary. It's for the perseverance I've displayed through the intense pain and suffering I've endured. You see, quality of life is merely a perception of our adaptability to life's challenges and whether that adaptability allows us to continue to pursue happiness. Perception is reality. As someone who loves every ticking second of life, you can bet I will always have a high quality of life. And that will, that strength, comes from thousands of little decisions that I made around the time I was your age. Nothing shows you what a person's made of more than what he does when his back is up against the wall. Anyone can play hard when the ball is bouncing their way, but the true measure of a human is the way she acts when adversity strikes. Whether it's the fourth quarter and you're down 2 scores, or you're struggling to understand the study guide for your physics final, or you're battling one of the world's most devastating diseases, what are you going to do when your back is up against the wall? Are you going to quit? Because it sure as hell would be a lot easier. Or are you going to stare that challenge down and give it everything you have and show life what you're made of? I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors, and thanks especially to Coach Stilling and the Schaumburg High School community for all of the support you've given me over the years. Remember, you have the opportunity right now to shape the rest of your life. Good luck, and thank you.
Schaumburg High School, I'm going to present to you the Distinguished Grad Placard. It's a pretty good resemblance of you, isn't it? Pretty good. We are just awestruck here on your continued ability and desire to fight and show us the way on how to fight diversity. And you've done that for a number of years here, and that message, not just to our kids, but to our whole entire school community. And it is such an honor to be able to give you this award tonight. So on behalf of our school, thanks so much.